I'm kind of getting tired of pay-per-views. Mostly because I remember as a kid with the chip box and how, like, if it was a real special pay-per-view, like, everybody gathered around and even people actually purchased the pay-per-views, you know? Like, people didn't want to have to mess around with the chip box and the squiggly lines, and sometime it might come in, might not. But when you look at how many pay-per-views that shouldn't really be pay-per-views, for example, this is just from Wikipedia. I'm just using this as notes just to look at them. For example, in 2021, now tell me if I'm missing some because some of them aren't listed on here. We had Chris Arreola versus Andrew Ruiz, May the 1st. Mayweather versus Logan Paul, June the 6th. June 26th, Mario Barrios and Tank Davis. August 21st, Manny Pacquiao versus Ugas. August 29th, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. October the 9th, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. November the 6th, Canelo versus Plant. November the 20th, Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter. December the 5th, Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz. January the 1st, Louis Ortiz versus Charles Martin. February, I think it was the 4th or 5th, 2022 we're in. You had Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. In May, you had Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero. Did we have a pay-per-view in April? Yes, we did. That was Errol Spence, right? Versus Yordenis Ugas. They're getting a little out of control with this, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of these fighters aren't able to fight because they just can't fight on regular TV. And as I was talking about earlier, did you notice? Like, I gotta say it like this. Let's just talk about it. You know, it's the open secret. It's taboo to talk about. But pay-per-views are easy as shit to stream. Listen, I lied to you not. If I didn't have to do like my boxing videos where, because you know you can't DVR boxing streams. So if I didn't have to like do these videos and I have to fast forward and rewind and DVR and be able to use the post-fight interviews and all that, I probably wouldn't be buying these shits. I probably would buy one, you know, maybe 2 a year. Canelo versus Bivol pay-per-view in May, look, you know, but as it stands right now, they're going to the well, and they're not going to the well because these fights are pay-per-view worthy. They're going to the well for political bullshit mumbo jumbo because they pay these fighters to keep them away from other promoters. So they're like, shit, we got to put them on pay-per-view to have them sell themselves. But now, these streams, it's not like it was fucking even 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Remember the struggle? Let's go back to 2010. Let's go back to 2010 and 11. You know, when you tried to watch UK fights, when we had no access to those fights over here. You know, when you wanted to watch a fucking Carol Brook versus a Carson Jones or some shit. And you got to go to, what was it? What was the bullshit sites we used to do? First Row Sports and all kind of shit like that. You know, stream to watch. You know, and you got to click all this bullshit off and then all these pop up all on your screen. You know, start overwhelming your hard drive and your memory. And then it's all blurry. Now, listen, I got some bookmarks, yo, that will knock your socks off. High definition, baby. HD, watch one ad, boom, click that shit off, and it's like, oh. And then they got the nerve to be putting bullshit on pay-per-view. And now you have fans just outright openly saying to the promoters, like people like Leonard Ellerby and who the guy that run Triller, openly telling them like, ha ha ha, I'ma stream that shit. Fuck you. Like, bro, if you can't find a stream in 2022, you motherfuckers, y'all ain't, listen, if you can't find a stream in listen, they are out there. Reddit is your friend. I'm not sending y'all nothing. You degenerates. I ain't sending you nothing. And I pay for my fights. I'm pissed off about this cable bill now. Shit. Stop telling on yourself. What do you mean telling on myself? I'm telling you, motherfuckers, don't try to, nah. I pay for my fights, motherfucker, and I have the content to prove it. Just look at my content. That shit don't be no streams. My shit be in full crisp, like, bro. And I fast forward and rewind during my streams. So nah, don't try to, nah, I don't know. Nah, but if it's an Australian fight, or if it's a fight that I don't have access to, then listen, shoot me, lock me away and throw away the key, because if I don't have no access to the fight in 2022 with all the streaming services, then T-Street's going to watch the fight. T-Street's going to watch the fight. But as far as American fights, I pay for all that bullshit, and I don't be happy about it. I paid for, what fight I paid for twice? I paid for Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin twice, and I was hot. Let me tell you why I paid for it twice. When you buy through the Fox Sports app or the Fox Sports desktop, is no DVR. So once you buy it, you can't rewind it, and you can't go back and watch it. The same thing if you buy through Showtime, the Showtime website. It's no DVR. So once it's over, Jack. It's over. So when I realized that, I went to go try to buy through, and I did buy through Fight.tv. I purchased through Fight.tv. I don't know why I couldn't purchase through my TV. I forgot. But I purchased through Fight.tv. Now, this is fucking Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin. I purchased through Fight.tv, and then I went into the support chat for Fox Sports and tried to cancel it. And they like, nah, once you purchase it, all sales are final. And I'm like, but I haven't even finished it. They're like, nah, we're not trying to hear that shit. I paid $100-something for that fight. You talk about hurt. I'm feeling the pain right now just talking about it. Feeling the pain right now. But one thing for sure is, going back to what I was saying, it's like these fights don't even be quality. And when you got promoters talking about it, Bob Arum did an interview on Fight Hype recently, where like he know what the deal is. You know, these pay-per-views be too frequent and too expensive. People be broke as shit, and they're like, add another $80 to your cable bill, where a motherfucker can just take his laptop. If you want to be old school, take your laptop, connect that shit from HDMI to your flat fucking screen TV, and then boom. You know? Then boom. So this is the conversation. They don't want us, media members or whatever the fuck they don't like us talking about that shit. But listen, Bob Arum did open up the floodgates. And then, yes, the undercards be trash too. I do agree that pay-per-views here in the States should be $20 to $30. They got to do something. They got to do something, because there's too many of them now, and they're incentivizing for fans to stream them and to pick and choose what fights, you know, to watch and not watch. And then you got motherfuckers like Leonard Ellerby, you know, just like, Tank is the box office star. Tank is this, Tank is that. It's like, all right, bro. But it's like him versus Rolly Romero should not have been fucking pay-per-view. But Tank is an attraction. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Pay-per-views are too damn high. Even I be feeling that shit. I be like, yo, like, why we gotta pay for these shits every month? You know, when T-Street on food stamps, man. So you know how many food stamps I gotta sell to buy pay-per-views? Like, no, it's inflation and shrinkflation. And it's a recession today too. No way, man. No way. So what pay-per-views do we got coming up next? You know, Tank got to have a pay-per-view. Spence Crawford, there's going to be pay-per-view. Canelo versus Golovkin, that's pay-per-view. If Wilder returns, that's going to be pay-per-view. You know when I knew shit was fucked up, really fucked up? Twice this year, they did us dirty. They put Tyson Fury versus Dylan White, a Frank Warren card, here on pay-per-view. Did y'all see that undercard? I was fucking damn near asleep on the couch. It's outrageous. It's fucking outrageous. They got to get their lives together, man. I don't know who these people think they are. And it's the same motherfuckers that told us that shit was going to be free. Remember PBC, free boxing for all? Their hands are not clean. Like, they put on so many damn pay-per-views. I don't want to start blaspheming. You see, I start getting all worked up. You know? And then you got the DAZN. Remember when they was smashing up all these cable boxes and VCRs, talking about pay-per-view is dead? Remember that commercial they did? where they like walking and you got like Canelo, some person with a Canelo face and the Ron Garcia face, and they smashing VCRs and cable boxes and satellite dishes for them to be putting out pay-per-view. I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. Something's telling me in my gut. I smell it. I smell it from 1,000 paces. I smell it. Something is telling me that Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua 2 is going to be on pay-per-view. You don't smell it? I smell it coming from 1,000 miles away. And then the next month, we're going to have Canelo versus Golovkin on pay-per-view. And these pay-per-views be flopping. They be making up numbers and shit. You have one person saying this, you know, and then, of course, Rick Glasser, he's always going to go with the low number. Yeah, I follow all that shit. I just be scrolling, just looking like, look at these people. You got people fighting, Twitter fighting over pay-per-view buys, and you got like social media race wars that break out. I mean, then everybody be cool afterwards. Everything calmed down. But like, bro, this shit is wild out here. Boxing is a weird ass sport. Like, I used to be involved in all the nitty gritty of all the little boxing beefs and doing all the little the videos, and the person said this and the person said that. Not no more. I don't get involved. If you notice, I don't be arguing with motherfuckers no more. You don't hear me talking about the LDBC and boxing ego and fucking blue blood. I don't talk about the motherfuckers no more. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Y'all get y'all bread. Leave me this. I just do my little boxing videos and mind my damn business. Mind my damn business. But they got to do something because they're hurting themselves. And think about it like this. The key demographics that they're targeting, what is it? From like 14 to 35? Those are all the broke motherfuckers. Those are the ones streaming. And the more they keep putting these expensive pay-per-views on, people like, you think this streaming shit's going to get better? It's going to become more like what? It's going to be more high definition. Give it another year. We're going to be watching illegal boxing streams in 4K. Watch. It's coming. It's coming. Because if you know where to look, the ads are already gone. You know? The ads are already gone. You can watch streams and there don't be no ads no more. You be like, damn, that's it? You know? That's it? But I don't think they're ever going to change the cost, though. Because if you change the cost, like when do they start having the conversation with the boxers? Like, listen, we was paying you this before, but we can't pay you this now because pay-per-view numbers are down. Like, bro, There's some tough-ass times ahead. I tell you that for sure. It's some tough-ass times ahead.